I need you. I have all this pent-up frustration and you seem to be the only one I can trust to help me let it out. Please, said Yugito, as the smell of sex in the room had only made her even hornier, and the look on the girls when she walked in let her see just how happy the girls were at being his. Now she wanted to be his right now, to be his and more. I know of that frustration, and I'll gladly help in relieving you of it, said Vergil, as he saw how angry she was with Kumo on the way back to Konoha, and how she was now free to express her bloodlust in the matter she wished to express it. Without another word, Yugito kissed him passionately while both of their demons let out their own respectful roars of success in getting their vessels laid, and watched the two go at it. Hyuga Estates. Hayashi sat in his clan office, tired from looking over legal clan documents, as he had been looking through them and found exactly what he was looking for. The marriage contract that had been signed by both parents of Vergil to marry his oldest daughter, should his old friend's child be a boy, and his own being a girl.
Soon, my daughter, I will bring you the happiness that I could not, and was too much of a coward for even trying to give it to you, said Hiyashi, as he would give his daughter the love she wanted, and would speak to Namikaze Vergil in the morning to see if he would agree to it.
Outside of Konoha's walls. Soon I will avenge the one that was precious to me, and slay the one that I thought could be a precious person, said the masked female hunter, as she rested against a tree clutching her chest, while trying to breathe properly since the wound there had been, and struggled to focus on her goal of killing Namikaze Vergil. Drifting slowly off to sleep, the woman closed her tired eyes, and let the bloodlust-filled thoughts of destroying the shinobi that took Momochi Zabuza away from her. Author note. Chapter 5. The Uchiha's Preemptive Fall. Vergil awoke carefully not to disturb the three naked beauties sleeping contently with him. As he took a shower, got dressed for the day, and head out to the Hokage Tower to check up on a few things. As he walked to the Hokage Tower, Vergil noticed the mixture of fear, respect, regret, and anger, directed at him for the usual obvious reasons. However, they were easily ignored, and entered the Hokage Tower to see the new Hokage known to all as Senju Tsunade doing the heavy load of paperwork. Working hard, I see, said Vergil, as he saw Tsunade glare at him, but saw it didn't affect the half-devil like it did so many others.
Now I see why my old sensei left the room in a hurry after I saw this monument of papers he left for me to deal with. As it stands though, Vergil, I don't have any current missions for you right now so soon after getting Yugito here to Konoha, and the very angry Raikage that is no doubt doing everything in his power to find out who took her, said Tsunade, as he knew that the Raikage would find out about Vergil eventually, but hopefully that wouldn't happen for a little while, and give the new Hokage a chance to prepare for the backlash.
If that's all, I'll be out training, said Vergil as he turned around, and left while Tsunade just sighed from the fact that this was going to be a long term for her as Hokage.
Elsewhere some time later.
The female masked shinobi awoke with a start, looking around to find herself exactly where she was before falling asleep, and there was no sign of Konoha shinobi in the area. Picking up the large sword, the female masked shinobi soon headed for the perfect spot to find a certain silver-haired half-devil and then kill him for what happened in Wave.
Sensing her target, the female shinobi ran towards the half-devil, and with increased her grip on the large sword that once belonged to that special someone in her heart. Within moments of arriving at her destination, she saw Vergil sitting in the middle of the field in a meditative state, and looked completely unaware that his death would be soon upon him.
I must strike quickly. I will only have one shot at this. For Zabuza-sama, thought the masked shinobi, as she dashed from the tree she was on a blinding speed. Her sword was already arched back to swing, and take the head off the man she assumed was the one responsible for the death of her most precious person.
The masked shinobi swung her large sword at Vergil, with her aim being dead on, but at the last second before victory was hers, the half-devil moved even faster, and ducked with the price being a few strands of hair, instead of his head. Vergil in turn rolled out of the way of his attacker's sword range and unsheathed Yamato ready to do battle with this new mysterious foe. "Who sent you to kill me? Was it Iwa, Kumo perhaps?" said Vergil, as he saw the figure struggle for a moment to get up from her stance, and ready her sword for battle. "No one. I came here to kill you to avenge someone precious to me you killed," said the female shinobi, as she made Vergil raise an eyebrow before he frowned and thought at just who he killed outside of Konoha, and found the list surprisingly short.
It was almost hard to believe that his kill count was mainly based right here in the leaf. "Can you tell me the name of the one I killed that was precious to you?" said Vergil, as he saw the woman brace herself before charging at him, swinging her sword in a wild yet still efficient manner, and Vergil moved around his attacker before kicking the girl away from him.
"Zabuza-sama, you and your team killed Zabuza-sama," said the female shinobi, as she removed her mask, and revealed to Vergil a face he had not seen since Wave.
The face of a girl he thought had died. "Haku," said Vergil, as he saw Haku crush her mask, and charge at him with her sword with fury, in those eyes that once looked at him so gently. "I will avenge Zabuza-sama," yelled Haku, as called upon all her strength, her chakra and rage to direct it at Vergil. In the time that Haku had died in Wave, she had been pushing herself despite her near-lethal injury, and waited until she felt the time was right to strike. It had not been easy to survive the Chidori, which should have, and would have killed her had it not been for the QB's demonic chakra that had flooded her system from her fight with the once blonde-haired boy. She had absorbed enough of it to defend Zabuza, but after being hit, Haku had instinctively used her bloodline to sustain herself in a crude, near-death state, and after she digging herself out of the short grave that was next to Zabuza, she struggled to piece together what she had left of a life. Taking Zabuza's sword from the ground, Haku set out to train while healing, and pushing herself dangerously close to the edge each time. Yet, Haku endured it for the sake of the desire to avenge the one that took her in, made her into a strong shinobi, and gave her a purpose besides withering away to dust in that snowy place in Water Country. She didn't know how Zabuza died, but she was certain it was due to fighting Team 7. And it was in her mind that because of the half-devil before her interfered in the fight midway, through that she was unable to do her duty to protect the demon of the mist.
"I didn't kill Zabuza. He died after killing Gato due to his injuries from Kakashi and then later from the various thugs that got in a few lucky hits with their weapons of choice," said Vergil, as he once more danced with her in the way of the sword, and found her to be pretty good despite it being fueled by rage.
"I don't believe you," said Haku as she spun the sword over her head and tried to bring it down on Vergil before the half-devil moved to the side.
"How can I prove to you that I speak the truth?" said Vergil, as he put away his sword, and saw Haku lift up the sword while struggling more in the process.
"By dying," said Haku, as she thrust the sword at Vergil, but the half-devil didn't move, and let the blade pierce his gut and into the tree behind him. "I hope this action helps," said Vergil, as he saw Haku stare at him in shock, and then the sheer realization at what she had done to him. The shock of it all opened Haku's mind, as she recalled the seconds before intercepting the Chidori, and seeing Zabuza weakened from his fight with Kakashi. The distant words of Gato, the words Vergil spoke, and killer intent from Zabuza that was directed at the soon-to-be-dead businessman. The cries of the men that Gato had hired, trying to slay her savior from years past, and then later on the distant shadow of Zabuza right in front of her downed face. She had been wrong. "What have I done?" said Haku, as she looked at her hands, then Vergil's body, and she quickly moved to remove the sword from the boy's gut, before she found her body falling on itself in pain. Her body had been overtaxed during the fight, while simply going all out in a sword fight with Vergil, and the boy had willingly been gutted to prove what he spoke was the truth while pinned to the tree behind him. Haku tried to rise, reach out to him, and tell Vergil she was sorry for killing him in her blinded rage that transformed her once gentle soul into a raging demon.
Instead, Haku collapsed into the darkness that came with losing consciousness, and could only wonder how she was going to live with herself when she awoke later.
If there was a later, Konoha Hospital 2 days later. Haku awoke with a start. She found herself wearing a hospital gown, and felt the pain in her chest that had ached her since being hit by the attack months ago in Wave Country was no longer there. It was patched up with the mark itself almost non-existent, and Haku realized she had been healed by a skilled doctor. Awake. I see, said Vergil, as he appeared from the corner of the wall and saw Haku was surprised to see him stand there much less alive. It can't be. I killed you, said Haku, as it was more of a surprise than horror in her words that he had survived, and Vergil simply smirked at her. Perhaps you should be filled in on what I have become since we last met so you can understand just how I survived your attack, said Vergil, as he sat on Haku's bed before telling her about the events that led up to his changes, and how her attack wouldn't have killed him like she originally thought it had. I'm glad you're not dead. Vergil-san, said Haku, as she felt the grief she felt from that leave her, but the guilt of attacking him remained, and found it hard to look at his handsome features. Same here, Haku-chan. Though it took some convincing for the Hawkage to place you under my care, considering how you tried to kill me for Zabuza's death. However, I told her that I would take full responsibility and place you in my care, said Vergil, as he saw Haku look at him with surprise, and was moved that he was to take her in even after all that she had done.
Does anyone outside of your Hokage know about me? Said Haku, as she knew that if the village learned of her bloodline, they would most likely use her for breeding, and she didn't want that. No, not yet anyway. As far as anyone knows, you're just a Jane Doe that woke up from an attack by bandits I saved you from, and the sword was going to a sword specialist for appraisal, said Vergil, as he took the sword to his home for safekeeping, and told the others 3 girls what happened.
Vergil had to give all 3 of them a fierce commanding order not kill Haku, as they didn't like the fact the ice-using girl had tried to kill the half-devil, and were a little put off that the young Namikaze wanted to bring her into his home. If that is the case, then I would like to become a citizen and shinobi of Konoha, said Haku, as she had no other place to go, and Vergil was the only person outside of Zabuza who was kind to her.
I had figured you would, which is why when you are fully healed, we're going to see the Hokage about making it official, and put you under my clan's protection to ensure that the councils don't try to use you for simple breeding purposes, said Vergil, as he saw Haku brighten at being with Vergil, and then hugged him to show her appreciation.
Thank you, Vergil-kun, said Haku, as she blushed when using that suffix, and felt safe while pressed against his lean, muscled body. You're welcome, Haku-chan. Get some rest so you can get out of this place sooner, said Vergil before kissing her on the forehead, and left a now cherry-red-faced Haku in the room. Vergil turned the corner to find Sasuke and Sakura there waiting for him with a look from both that he didn't like. Picking up another slut to expand your demon clan, said Sakura, as she had seen Vergil come in with the girl, and did not recognize the ice user from Wave Country. Not even Sasuke did, but the boy did feel he knew Haku from somewhere, and intended to get answers.
You're one to talk, Haruno, considering your whole family was made from them, said Vergil, as he saw Sakura bristle with rage at that, and wanted to pound the half-devil into nothing.
Forget her for a moment, you loser. Fight me, said Sasuke, as he had been itching for a fight, and wanted to prove that the Uchiha clan was the strongest. I have not the time nor the patience to fight such a weak creature such as you, said Vergil, as he saw Sasuke look at him furiously, and activate his Sharingan eyes.
I'm not telling you, loser. I'm commanding you to fight me, said Sasuke, as he tried to use the power of his eyes to influence Vergil, but all it did was make Vergil scowl at him, and upset the half-devil.
You, commanding me. Uchiha, I am a Chunin, and you are still a Genin? If anyone has the power to command you at this moment, it's me, said Vergil as he saw Sasuke scowl at him, and tried further before the half-devil closed his eyes while laughing at the Uchiha's attempts. Don't bother trying to use your eyes on me, Uchiha. You have neither the power nor the skill to use them for the effect you desire, said Vergil, as he turned around to walk away and leave the angry Uchiha with his number one fangirl.
Fight me or I'll use my eyes on that bitch you just visited to make her my little pet, said Sasuke, as he saw Vergil stop and look at him with deadly blue eyes.
Where? Said Vergil, as he saw Sasuke smirk, and kept his temper in check. Barely kept it in check. The hospital roof, said Sasuke, as he ignored Sakura's support, and the growing killer intent that the half-devil was slowly producing.
Really, shame. Such a fight that would be considered worthy of an Uchiha, but with no one around to see you fall and die like the weak little bitch you are, said Vergil, as he saw Sasuke glare at him with all his hate, and Vergil found it amusing to say the least.
Hospital roof moments later. Be prepared to enjoy the feeling of defeat at my hands, loser, since this will be one of the many times this happens, said Sasuke, as he got into fighting stance. And Vergil drew his sword. No, it won't. This is a fight to the death, said Vergil, as he had lost all form of patience for the stupid Uchiha, and had no problems removing this power-hungry fool from the world. Besides, the QB told him about the Uchiha clan, and how they were a corrupt batch of humans even by demon standards.
What? You can't fight Sasuke-kun with the intent to kill Vergil Baka. This is a simple spar, said Sakura, as she saw Sasuke narrow his eyes, and Vergil crack his neck.
Shut up, Sakura, said Sasuke, as he had no problem with that, and looked forward to taking everything from Vergil once the half-devil was dead. Yes, do shut up. As you can see, Sasuke does wish to fight me in a death match, and who am I to deny his own death warrant being signed? Said Vergil, as he smirking at the verbal jab he launched at the angry Uchiha, who was hating the feeling of having his ego bruised, and wasted no time in trying to move in quickly for the kill with a kunai in hand.
Vergil easily blocked the attack, holding it steady with his sword pointing down before delivering a sweeping kick and cut the ground out from Sasuke. The Uchiha rolled back to land on his feet before leaping back and perform hand signs for of his clan's fire jutsus that they specialized in. Fire style. Great fireball jutsu, said Sasuke, as he launched the attack at Vergil, who lazily spun Yamato in a circle, and dispelled the ball of fire before slashing at the large water tank supports Tachi right of Sasuke with the invisible attack causing the water tank to fall on the Uchiha. Sasuke managed to get out of the way in terms of being crushed, but the water sent the arrogant shinobi into the fence that surrounded the roof, and saw Vergil waiting for him to get up with a bored look on the half-devil's face. Sasuke became angry at this, as he was not about to be pushed around by this weak so-called Namikaze, and needed to find a way to kill this inferior creature before him. Your actions are pathetic, Sasuke. I imagine Itachi would be displeased by your behavior in all of this, said Vergil, as he knew how Itachi was a sore subject for him, and may the last Uchiha become infuriated by it. Shut up. You think you're so great when all that makes you powerful is that demon blood running through your body, said Sasuke, as he went through hand signs, and formed the Chidori with the full intention of kill Vergil with it.
The same can be said for your clan's eyes. However, unlike your eyes, my power does not come entirely from my demonic blood, but rather my spirit, and how it stays pure despite my heritage. You, on the other hand, are not pure in either aspect, and like your brother, must be dealt with accordingly, said Vergil, as he put away his sword, and activated Grim Reaper in his right arm.
The only one who is going to kill Itachi is me, said Sasuke, as he charged at Vergil with the intent to kill clearly seen in his eyes, and Vergil waiting patiently for the single moment in which to strike. It never came, however, as Kakashi interfered at the last moment, and threw the Uchiha away into the second water tank. Care to explain yourselves, said Kakashi, as he looked at Sasuke, and then at Vergil, now turning his arm back to normal. Vergil Baka tried to kill Sasuke-kun,
said Sakura, as she saw Vergil look directly at Kakashi, and then at Sasuke getting up from his position. Considering Sasuke was trying to use your prized jutsu on me, I think we both know that's a load of crap, and that you should keep a stronger leash on your student, said Vergil as he saw Kakashi wince at that, and saw Sasuke walk up to them while glaring at the half-devil. The councils will punish you for this, said Sasuke, as he would file a complaint with the councils, and get what he wanted from Vergil using the laws of the village. Hardly. You challenged me to a fight and even agreed this would be a fight to the death. Or perhaps this recording device in my hand is lying, said Vergil, as he showed a handheld recorder and hit the play button for them to hear Sasuke's voice. Forget her for a moment, you loser. Fight me.
I have not the time nor the patience to fight such a weak creature such as you.
I'm not telling you loser. I'm commanding you to fight me. Vergil then hit the stop button. Still think I'll get in trouble, said Vergil, as he saw Sasuke scowl at him, and walked away with Sakura telling him to admit that he was at fault. If I get my hands on that recording and destroy it, said Sasuke. But he was cut off by Kakashi, who put a hand on his shoulder and shook his head to make him stop that train of thought. Don't, Sasuke. By trying anything, you will only provoke Vergil into attacking you and will most likely kill you for trying. Even if I report this now saying, Vergil attacked you first, I would be proven wrong by that tape. And then both of us would be in trouble, said Kakashi, as he saw his student scowl at him before leaving the Junin, and Sakura behind to dwell in his own thoughts on the matter. Sasuke-kun, wait, said Sakura as she was stopped by Kakashi, and once again had to stop one of his students from doing something to make things worse.
Let him go, Sakura. Even Sasuke needs to learn a little humility, said Kakashi, as he was getting this feeling that something was going to happen between his current student and a former one.
Though, even Kakashi had to admit he really never taught his former student much. But Sasuke-kun is an Uchiha, said Sakura, as she didn't understand how her crush, and supposed one true love wasn't so perfect like she originally made him out to be. Yes, he is, but therein lies the problem. Think about it, Sakura. The traits of that clan are those who have too much pride and arrogance in them. They don't know the meaning of the word humility. Sasuke especially, since everyone has spoiled the boy, and your teammate needs to understand that there will always be someone more powerful than him, said Kakashi, as he could feel how his favoring of Sasuke was a betrayal to his sensei, and had cost him dearly. Sasuke doesn't need to be humbled. It's that damn demonic baka Vergil who needs to be humbled, and I'm going to find a way to make it happen, said Sakura, as she stormed off to do just that, and make Vergil pay for trying to undermine her love. I'm sorry, Sensei. I messed up with your son, and now I'm losing my other two students in the process, said Kakashi to himself, as he looked towards the Hokage monument, and wished his sensei was here now to guide him. Yuga compound several hours later. Thank you for inviting me to your home, Hayashi-sama, said Vergil, as he had been told by a branch family member of the Hyuga clan to visit the compound, and speak to Hayashi himself regarding important interrelation-based business between the clans. You're welcome, Vergil-sama. I know you are busy with your new Chunin rank and the various missions you have to take at the behest of our new Hokage. I have been going through some old scrolls set back right before you were born and found one containing an arranged marriage contract, said Hayashi, as he saw Vergil's eyes widen at that, and saw the boy understanding.
I take it the girl that was chosen is Hinata-chan, said Vergil, as he knew the girl was crazy for him, and this would make the girl's dreams come true. Yes, I assume you're aware of her feelings for you, said Hiyashi, as he saw Vergil nod, and was glad that the boy wasn't rejecting the idea of marrying Hinata.
Of course. She is precious to me. I won't deny that your clan's history has me quite upset inside, and the fact that Hinata was the center of a brutal blood feud did not help still my own opinions of you, said Vergil, as he had been quite angry with Neji over what had happened to Hinata. And the fact that her own father let things get so bad was making the half-devil's blood stir. I know all too well the sins I committed in this house against my own family. You must understand the ways of my clan are old, and are the traditions of the paranoid. I have wanted to change things in my clan for so long, but the rules within this clan seem to be unbendable. And the Hyuga elders are too fixed on the old ways to remotely consider changing things for the better, said Hayashi, as he had tried in secret to help his children along with Neji after Hisashi died, but failed at every turn, and felt powerless to stop the growing divide between the two-sided of the family from growing. If the clan laws will not bend, then perhaps you should break them. And in more ways than one, said Vergil, as he gave Hayashi a meaningful stare, and the Hyuga head's eyes widened at the hidden meaning.
That is a dangerous alternative, said Hiyashi, as he saw Vergil nod, but the resolve did not leave the half-devil, and saw those blue eyes look to his right to see Hinata peeking out at him from the shadows for the room. So is having a divided family that cannot stand together like a true family should. If the family is to really be free, then everyone should wear a seal on themselves to protect the Hyuga bloodline. If they won't, then stop the practice all at once, and wait for the day that someone actually succeeds in taking it from you. Kumo does not need to capture a main family member. If one goes out on a mission, and a branch family can easily give away the bloodline via their seed to an unsuspecting female Kumo shinobi, said Vergil, as he saw Hiyashi nod at this, and knew that all members of the Hyuga clan that went on long-term missions far away from the Leaf were branch family.
The Hyuga elders never considered Kumo may try to use a branch member in such a way without the man even knowing it.
Again, you have raised a valid point, Vergil-sama, and I agree with you. I will speak to Sarutobi and the Hokage about this before I do anything. Can I count on you to help in this matter if I were to make the request? Said Hiyashi, as he saw Vergil nod, and then turn his head to Hinata to find her letting out an eep before coming out of her hiding spot.
Hello, Hinata-chan. Spying on me as usual, said Vergil, as he saw Hinata blush red in embarrassment, and nodded much to her own father's embarrassment. I told Hinata about the marriage contract not that long ago. She must have just recently awakened after fainting not that long ago, said Hayashi, as he saw his daughter look down shyly with her entire face red, while trying to look at Vergil with some form of courage, and had to look away after catching a glimpse of his smile.
I'm sorry about that father, said Hinata, as she had felt her fainting at the news was seen like some form of shame upon him, and the Hyuga clan.
There is nothing to be sorry about, Hinata. You are very much like your mother, and after what happened when you were 3 years old, said Hayashi, as he saw Hinata look sad at that memory, and wished she had been stronger. I will try to continue getting stronger, father, said Hinata as she saw her father nod, and so did Vergil in approval of her resolve. I know you will, Hinata, but I'm afraid you can't do it here due to the prying eyes of the Hyuga elders, and you will need to train elsewhere to do so, said Hayashi, as he saw Hinata look at him in shock, and Vergil was raising an eyebrow at the Hyuga head. Where will I go to get stronger, said Hinata, as she was so shocked by this news that the stuttering had left her, and her father looked over at Vergil as if he was the answer.
The Namikaze Estates. Since you and Vergil-sama are to married, I think it's only fair that you move into his home to learn as much as possible, said Hiyashi, as he saw his daughter's face light up like she was the sun itself, and let out a fangirl-like squeal before fainting at the realization of what she had just done. Hinata's fainting may become a habit in your home for a time, said Hiyashi, as he saw Hinata's happy face glowing on the floor, and Vergil picking her up to take back with him to the Namikaze Estates.
I'll send some clones here later to get her things, said Vergil before walking out of the room with the smiling Hayashi being the only one in it.
Namikaze training ground several weeks later. Hinata was having the time of her life training with Vergil, as he had given her such positive lessons in the ways of her gentle fist style, and pointed out that the traditional style from the clan was not for her. Instead, he suggested a more fluid and flexible style of the gentle fist be developed to better suit her growing figure. After a good fainting spell from that last part, Hinata awoke to do just that, and began to work on the new gentle fist style with increased vigor. As for Vergil himself, he was happy to see Hinata grow so much in just a few days, and not just in terms of training either. Hinata was a little shocked in seeing Kin and Tayuya being his slaves along with Yugito living at his home. At first, Hinata was nervous around the older girl because of the past regarding Kumo, but Yugito told the former Hyuga heiress that she hated Kumo for treating her like a weapon, and wanted to be her friend.